Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering, Kenton on Painter versus Yorion and Taxes, piloted by Luke. The ELD Legacy Open. A Multa 5 for Kenton and a non-explosive start, just a mountain. This Death and Taxes deck that already has an Aether Vial on board. A Thalia to boot. That is going to make things a little bit tougher for Painter, but there are a lot of creature aspects of the combo, so that is not going to interact there. And we got a Painter's Servant already on board and a Sanctum Prelate, which is going to stop 1 mana spells. Fable of the Mirror Breaker costing 1 additional mana, so Ancient Tomb chipping away at his life total. Aether Vial putting in a Stoneforge Mystic, and this could get ugly very quickly. Fable needs a little bit of time to get rolling. The Stoneforge Mystic is grabbing Kaldra. That's going to be able to set a very serious clock next turn. Be able to swing for 5 with the Kaldra, no problem. There it is. 5/5 first strike. Just a couple of more turns of that. And electing to go ahead and put a Spirit of the Labyrinth in. This is going to deny the Fable from the looting effect that it might otherwise have. Oh no. So Grindstone's in the graveyard. We'll need a red mana to activate this Goblin Engineer. It's not quite a Goblin Welder, but it does tutor up the necessary piece, so that is big. Now, if these pieces were in reverse order, it would be a much better situation. Grindstone in play with a Painter Servant in the graveyard means you can actually activate the Grindstone and then weld it out for the Painter. This is going to be close. Tomb gave him the extra mana. Have enough. Actually, any land would have done. Had City of Traders. This is an all-out swing. Blocking. Thalia is going to die. Stoneforge is going to bounce. Does need that Goblin to stick around. Also needs the Painter to stick around. Blocks really available to him. And yeah, that's just how it's going to go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, down to 1. So this Ancient Tomb is offline. Needs a mana source here. Got artifact land would be ideal. Any land other than an Ancient Tomb would be fine. Other artifacts, because of this Thalia, not going to be helpful. So the Fable flips. Changing for the Grindstone. No, this won't do. Just so close. Ancient Tomb actually not going to allow him to get the job done. So Painter Grindstone would be able to mill out Yorion and Taxes with just 1 more mana. Unfortunately, that Ancient Tomb cannot provide it. And that's a wrap. I wonder if this deck will end up running Urborg at some point. This is a black-red build. Urborg does allow you to tap your Ancient Tombs for mana, even when you're low on life, just having them be swamps. Pretty great showing for a Mulda 5, though. Very close to getting there. How this matchup is for either Yorion and Taxes or the traditional 60 card builds. I'm not really sure how Painter does. My guess would be Painter would do pretty well. But there is a lot of creature removal. Towards the Plowshares, Solitude, Skyclave, Apparition, Flicker Wisp, Yorion. I mean, this is a lot. Could create interactive games. A lot of the times with those type of games, whoever draws the most cards ends up winning. And, you know, Painter does have the Fable of the Mirror Breaker and the Phyrexian Dragon engine. So, Stony Silence, that's a heck of a bomb, though. 2-mana enchantment that's actually harder to remove than Null Rod in this matchup, as you can't weld it out with Goblin Welder. Welder Tribal is beaten down for 2 at a time. Not the plan. Recruiter of the Guard. Typically from here you grab Flicker Wisp to flicker the Recruiter. It is much better when you have an Aether Vial, but Stony Silence wouldn't allow that to be useful anyways. See what he grabs. He does still grab the Flicker Wisp. Let me know what you would get in that situation. The upside here is you get another trigger the Recruiter, get another go, while increasing your clock with a 3-power flyer. You can do this each turn until you're out of Flicker Wisps. Other options, you know, include Skyclave, Sanctum Prelate. Oh, Hardcast Fury. Yikes. That mops up all of that. Was hard casting him for the reasonable 5 mana. Now he's a 3/3 double strike on board. Mother of Runes. A bit late. See if Luke can stabilize here. The Stoneforge Mystic grabs a Cauldra. Down to 7. So next turn he will be able to put the Cauldra in front of this Fury. Monkey Beats. Urza's Sagas threaten to create a whole bunch more counterplay, making a bunch of tokens, but I believe Serenity is in Luke's hand. That is. So Serenity, that is going to wipe out these Urza's Sagas and any constructs that they make. And he doesn't have any artifacts in the graveyard to bring back. That Painter Servant was exiled. Next turn, Serenity's going to take out quite a bit of the board. Not bothering to make a construct here, instead just searching something up. They know what you even want to get here. Perhaps just a dead draw. It is going to die. Oh yeah, Nile Spellbomb. Yep. I think that's when it goes to the graveyard, you draw a card. Oh, I think you have to pay the black. Yeah, that's not like a Chromatic Star. Pay a black when it goes to the graveyard. Should have had that one queued up. I believe I've got that right. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Aldra. And sideways. That Serenity is gone, having blown everything up. Now Skyclave. Yeah. Taking out a welder. And Solitude. Took out a... I don't actually see anything come off the board there, though. Mother of Runes. Protection from red at any point here. Rhinestone. Well, no painter, though. Flicker Wisp. Cutting off the Pithing Needle for now. Oh, I think Mother of Runes tapped in response to the Pithing Needle. Trying to figure out why that is tapped at all, but added protection while the shields were down. And is that everything turning sideways? The WoW Pithing Needle is gone. Skyclave getting pro-red. Cauldra swinging. Does have trample. This is lethal, so something's got to step in front of the Cauldra. It's indestructible anyway, so it's really like how much damage do you want to take? Simian Spirit Guide, obvious choice. Leaving just 2 life left. Might block with Fury as well, giving as much as possible. Milling 3. All right. Dragon Engine. All right. Dragon Engine's a heck of a card to show up. Get a double block on Cauldra. And then the Dragon Engine able to block the Skyclave. It's a colorless card. Some shenanigans here. Skyclave had taken out a welder previously, so he'll get a 1/1 back. But this Dragon Engine, ETB, discarding the hand, drawing 3 cards. Oh, I guess we haven't actually moved the blocks here. Slower. So willing to take 2 damage. What are we doing with the blocks? Kenton really struggling to figure out exactly what he wants to be doing here. All right, so that seemed like the correct thing to do, giving yourself the ability to use the Ancient Tomb. He's dead next turn to Mother of Runes, potentially. Very bad spot. Oh, that's right. Flicker Wisp coming back. End of turn trigger. The Mother of Runes is offline again. And a Swords to Plowshare is taking out the Welder. There's not a lot to work with. Much at all. Kind of needs to have it in hand. I mean, Fury. Oh, that's a magic card. Chaos Defiler. That's going to destroy any one of these permanents. You know, it says random on there, but it's really not random. As you only have one opponent. You know, if you had 3 opponents, then you destroy one of the 3. Oh, look at that. So he swings. Luke takes the damage, goes down to 3, and Kenton has the bolt for the win. Oh, that's a heartbreaking one. Wow. Wow, that was some quick decisions, too. I don't even think Luke considered the possibility of just losing on the spot to a bolt. He was in really good shape. That is a brutal way to end up in a game 3. Let's see if Luke can keep it together here. That is a rattling way to lose a commanding position. This is late in the tournament as well. Actually not sure if this is in the top 8 or just for seeding for those final rounds. Let's go, Goblin Welder. That's a strong card. When that was the Rage and Vintage, got to the point where Lava Dart was main decked just to stop those opposing welders. Also could kill Gorilla Shaman, which was very good at the time. Very red metagame. Best control strategy kind of all coalesced around Goblin Welder. With a Grindstone and ooh, this could be over super fast. A Goblin Engineer. The Lion Slash in hand. Chaos Defiler put into the bin. And he shows up and kills Stoneforge. Lion Sash. Oh, this is just going to be ridiculous. Lion Sash actually turning sideways, but he can, every time he dies or enters the battlefield, he can destroy a non-land permanent. This Welder and have him dancing in and out of the graveyard, mopping up just about anything Luke has. God and Ports. Not of very much use here at all. Lion Sash, it's a reasonable card in this type of matchup. Graveyard is a resource. It's not the primary plan, but it is very useful. Oh no. I guess there was no artifacts in the graveyard to respond to anyways. You do need an artifact in the graveyard to exchange that Chaos Defiler. Zawa's Jite. This could get pretty bad. Welder can at least turn this into a Lion Sash, if need be. Simian Spirit Guide. Gonna be a Skyclave? What do we got here? No. Field of Ruin. Not gonna be amazing. Welder ready to play some defense. Vegeta is equipped to the Stoneforge. Swinging would be catastrophic, as the Simian Spear Guide would kill it. No problem. Flicker Wisp. That is a line right there, Flicker Wisp. Getting that Stoneforge to produce a Cauldra. All tapped out. Here's a Goblin, a Painter Servant, I should say. Goblin Welders online. untapped, looking for something to do. 18 life to chip away at. And everything turns sideways. Oh, this is catastrophic. So this Aldra can be exchanged for a Lion Sash. It has 0 power and toughness, so everything just falls all apart. We've got a Jite lying there, lifeless on the battlefield. Luke's going to have to invest a bunch more mana to make anything happen here. He does have 1 white. Which isn't even super useful. A Goblin Engineer would actually win here, as it would be able to get the Grindstone out of the graveyard around this 1 white mana. Once Luke untaps, it'll be very difficult to use the graveyard, as he has more mana available. But without an Aether Vial, he'll have to keep using his mana to keep up on board. Oh, Orcish Bowmaster. Responding to the activation, killing the Lion Sash. This thing's... Talk about taking 1 for the team. Taking multiple hits. This is a pretty crazy looking board to be facing down a mountain of -1/-1 potential counters. So Flicker Wisp and Stoneforge come back in thanks to Yorion. This game's going way longer than I thought I did. I kind of skip through in general and get some of the highlight cards that I notice as the board changes. Thought this was going to be a short game. We might actually be coming up to time. That would be wild if this actually ends up being a draw, because there's bad intention on both sides of the board. Flying damage comes across. Didn't bother equipping. And now all sorts of flickering going on. Flicker Wisp and Yorion interacting. There will be lethal on Luke's side of the board, just in the air. Examining the board, seeing what he can do. Batterskull. Got here. Lightning Bolt. We got a Solitude as well. Oh, Luke's saying still got all these, showing a Solitude and a Fairy Macabre, as Kenton unable to handle that final attack step. As Luke, I don't know if that's Kenton's first loss on the day, but that is a very dangerous painter deck. Thank you for watching. For more magic from ELD's Time Vault games, be sure to subscribe and check out more videos just for you over here.